Subscribe to my channel.
Okay guys, welcome. This is lesson 7. all right. In lesson 7 we are going to be discussing function. all right, we are going to be looking at function, and not just looking at function, but in the very beginner state and very beginner way of understanding function. Okay, so firstly guys, please, if you are just turning or just coming across the channel, or you haven't subscribed to the channel, guys, please subscribe. Guys, please subscribe. Please guys, subscribe. Now without further ado, let's get into our lesson for today, which is function. Now whenever we talk about function, we are talking about reusable or block of code. That is what should come to your mind. All right, what should come to your mind is a reusable block of code. Now with that being said about function, quickly we're going to take few examples on function. all right, and those example will be taken on function particularly will be very easy for us. Okay, now if you check here, I have my strip tag that we've been doing all other video. all right, okay, now if you check here, I have my strip tag already. Now the first thing we want to do here is that I want to say function. all right, function. right, after declaring this function, now what I want you to get, whenever we are talking about function in JavaScript, the keyword function or the reserved keyword function helps to declare a function. Okay, now let's take for instance, if I say functron function and say space, now I have to give the function a name. Let's take for instance greet, and then the next thing I follow here will be parenthesis, and then outside of the parenthesis I have a bracket. Now within the bracket we write the instruction of the function, the block of code that we want it to be, or we want the function to run each time it is called. Okay, like I said from the onset, that function is a reusable block of code. Now with that being said, I will come right here and say console.log and say hello world. Okay, and come out of there and close it. If I save this code and open our browser and check to the console.log, as usual, trust me, we're not going to see anything. Why? The reason we are not seeing anything, because we have not yet called the function. We have just addressed the function, we have built the function, give the function whatsoever thing we want the function to apply, but we have not yet called the function. Now we'll head back to our code editor and call the function. Now to call the function, we are going to use the function name. all right, we'll say greet and say parenthesis, open the closes, we get out of it and close it. Now we have called the function, we are asked the function to run. Now if I go in console.log now and refresh our browser, now we can see it here, hello world. Okay, it has been clearly showing in here. Okay, so now let us refactor this function and see what we can do next with it. all right, now let's push this on the side. Let's refactor this function. Now the next thing I want to do here is this. I want to pass in our parameter or argument to the function. We'll give an argument saying name. all right, name. Now let me open this out so that you can understand it properly. Now if I say name here, and then I come here saying console.log hello world, now I will take a word from here and keep only hello. Okay, now and come right here and say plus, and come here and say plus name. all right, after using plus name here, I save this code. Now if I try running this code, the code will be asking me for an argument or a parameter to pass. all right, now we're seeing hello and then we are seeing undefined. all right, now let me create space so that we can see it properly. If I come check here, we'll see hello and we'll see undefined. all right, now we want to get rid of that undefined, so we'll come right here and say hello John. all right, hello John. Okay, and save it. Now if I come and open our web browser again, refresh it, now instead of having undefined, we have John. All right, we have hello John. Okay, now what we have done here, we have just refactored the code to make it look little dynamic. All right, each time we can change the name here to even Mary. All right, it won't affect our function in there, but it will be working as well. If I come here saying hello Mary, okay, if I come here and change it to Erin, hello to everyone, okay, and save it. Now if I come up here, refresh the code again, we see hello to everyone. All right, now if I come here and say hello world, all right, good, we'll still get our same answer. So like I said, refactoring of code is just like rearranging your code to make it more suitable, all right, that it will be able to give you the same result. Okay, now so this is for function, guys. All right, I hope that you learned something from this. All right, this is for function. So before closing this series, I just want to interpret everything that we see here, all right, in this straight line. Now we have this place here helping or helping us to what? Call the function. This line of code is helping us to call the function. All right, now this is our function statement. All right, now this area where we find greet, this the entire line is declaring of the function. All right, declaring the function. All right, this entire line here is declaring the function. Okay, this entire line is declaring the function, and this is also the function name. This is our function name. All right, after declaring the function, when we declare the function, we give the function a name. Okay, good. Now we leave from that place. Now we use this the keyword to declare function, and this is the function name. This is an argument or a parameter that we enter into the function that we can later on call and play around with. All right, so in further chapter we are going to be discussing type of function, we're going to be discussing arrow function and so on. So guys, thank you very much for sticking around. See you guys in the next video. Please subscribe, guys. Please subscribe.
Subscribe to my channel.